Tom Silvagni, a 25-year-old man from Melbourne, stood in the county court dock on December 12, 2025. He wore a dark suit and kept his eyes on the floor while the judge began to read the verdict. The courtroom was silent except for the judge's voice. After a 5-week trial, the jury had found him guilty on 3 counts of rape. The victims were 3 different women he met through dating apps in 2022 and 2023. The first woman, called Witness A in court, was 22 when she matched with Tom on Hinge. They chatted for a week and agreed to meet at his apartment in South Yarra for drinks. She told the jury she felt safe because he seemed polite and funny online. When she arrived, he offered her wine and they talked on the couch. She said yes to kissing, but nothing more. Within minutes, Tom pushed her down, held her wrists above her head, and ignored her saying no, and stopped several times. She froze and stopped fighting because she was scared he would hurt her worse. He raped her on the couch and then again on his bed. When it was over, he acted normal and asked if she wanted breakfast. She left crying and went straight to a friend's house. 2 days later, she went to the police and did a forensic examination. Doctors found bruises on her wrists and thighs that matched her story. DNA from Tom was found inside her body. The police took her phone and downloaded the Hinge messages where Tom later wrote, "Last night was amazing. Let's do it again soon." She never replied to him again. The second woman, Witness B, was 26 and met Tom on Bumble in early 2023. They went on 2 normal dates, dinner, and a movie before she agreed to go to his place. She told the court she was happy to have sex, but only with a condom. Tom put one on at first, but halfway through he took it off without telling her. She only noticed when it was too late. She pushed him away and said she did not consent to sex without protection. Tom held her down and kept going. She cried and asked him to stop at least 5 times. When he finished, he told her to relax and that it feels better without one anyway. She left the apartment shaking and called the sexual assault crisis line from her car. Witness B also went to the police the next day. Medical staff documented tearing and bruising inside her body. The used condom was still on the bedroom floor with Tom's DNA on it. Messages recovered from her phone showed Tom texting the next morning, "You seem to enjoy it. Why did you leave so fast?" She blocked his number that same day. The third woman, Witness C, was only 19 and a university student when she matched with Tom on Tinder in July 2023. They met for coffee first, and he seemed charming. She agreed to go back to his place to watch Netflix. She made it clear she was not ready for sex and just wanted to cuddle. Tom said that was fine. Once they were on the bed, he started taking her clothes off, even though she kept saying, "I don't want to." She tried to push his hands away, but he was much stronger. He pinned both her arms with one hand and raped her. She told the jury she went silent because she thought he might kill her if she screamed. After he finished, he fell asleep and she ran out wearing only half her clothes. Witness C waited almost 3 weeks to report because she felt ashamed and scared. Her friends finally convinced her to go to the police. Even though time had passed, counselors noted fresh emotional trauma and older fading bruises. Her phone still had the Tinder chat where Tom wrote 2 days later, "You ghosted me. That was rude after how close we got." She had not answered a single message. During the trial, Tom Silvagni chose not to give evidence in his own defense. His lawyer told the jury that all 3 women had consented and later changed their minds because they regretted casual hookups. He said the bruises came from enthusiastic sex that everyone enjoyed at the time. He claimed the women made up the stories to punish Tom for not wanting a relationship. The prosecutor called this argument insulting and dangerous. She showed the jury the text messages Tom sent after each rape, acting as if everything was normal and happy. She played the recorded phone calls where each woman made to friends right after leaving his apartment, crying and saying they had just been raped. The jury listened to hours of distressed voices describing the same man and the same pattern. Detective Senior Constable Sarah Miller explained how police searched Tom's phone and found hundreds of similar dating app conversations. In many chats with other women, stopped replying after he asked to meet at his place. Police also found deleted photos of unconscious or sleeping women on an old hard drive. None of those women came forward, but the judge allowed the evidence to show Tom's pattern of behavior. The defense tried to say Tom was just a modern young man who had lots of casual sex, and that no doesn't always mean no in hookup culture. The prosecutor replied that the law is clear. No means no, stop means stop, and silence because of fear is still not consent. She reminded the jury that consent can be withdrawn at any moment and must be freely given every single time. After 3 days of deliberating, the jury of 7 women and 5 men returned guilty verdicts on all 3 charges. Some jurors were crying when the foreman read out guilty each time. Tom Silvagni showed no emotion at first, then put his head in his hands. Family members of the victims hugged each other in the public gallery. The judge thanked the 3 women for their courage in giving evidence. She said their honesty had been tested for weeks under harsh cross-examination, yet their stories never changed. She told Tom he had shown no remorse and continued to blame the women even after the verdict. She said his actions were predatory and calculated. On December 12, 2025, Judge Smith sentenced Tom Silvagni to 11 years and 6 months in prison. He must serve at least 8 years before he can apply for parole. He was placed on the sex offender register for life. The judge said the sentence had to send a message that dating apps are not a hunting ground and that forcing sex on someone is never acceptable. Outside the court, the 3 women read a joint statement through their lawyer. They said they hoped the verdict would encourage other silent survivors to come forward. They thanked the police, prosecutors, and support workers who believed them from day one. They said meeting each other during the trial and discovering they were not alone gave them strength. Tom Silvagni is now prisoner number 487221 at a maximum security jail outside Melbourne. He spends 23 hours a day in his cell under protection because sex offenders are targeted by other inmates. The 3 women he raped are slowly rebuilding their lives with counseling and support from family. They say justice does not erase what happened, but for the first time in years, they can sleep without being terrified he will message them again. This verdict shows that when women speak up together and evidence is properly collected, the system can work. It took bravery from 3 strangers who became connected by the worst experience of their lives. Today they stand as survivors, not victims no more, and Tom Silvagni will spend the best years of his life behind bars paying for what he did to them.